Hi, my name is Minwoo Kim, and today I will introduce about knowledge graphs with this paper. A survey on knowledge graphs representation, equation, and application. I'll focus on knowledge graph representation since this is the first time we are dealing with knowledge graphs in our lab. I will explain how we can separate knowledge graph representation learning models and introduce representative models. First, let's talk about background of knowledge graphs and categorization of research on knowledge graph. What is knowledge graph? It is a data structure that expresses the relationships between entities as a graph and allows reasoning on top of this structure. Therefore, nodes correspond to entities and edges correspond to relationships. This structure can be broadly composed of two parts. One is a triplet in the left figure, and the other is a triplet expressed in graph form as in the right figure. And we can see triplet is composed with head, relation, and tail. The reason why the graph structure is important is because unlike existing methods, multi-hop reasoning is possible. In this picture, we can see two triplets, Albert Einstein supervised by Alfred Kleiner and Alfred Kleiner, professor of University of Zurich. In a simple, conventional vector database, it's difficult to infer that Albert Einstein graduated from the University of Zurich from these two triplets. However, using a graph structure, this fact can be easily inferred. So graph can explain multi-hop reasoning more easily. A variety of research areas are currently underway in this knowledge graph, one of which is knowledge representation learning. There are four main criteria for dividing embedding methods. It is representation space, scoring function, encoding models, and auxiliary information. And there are three main tasks in knowledge equation. They are knowledge graph compilation, relation extraction, entity discovery. Knowledge graph compilation assumes that the existing knowledge graph does not contain all knowledge. It involves finding missing knowledge in the existing knowledge graph and connecting the edges. This is based on the knowledge representation learning described above. In addition, there is relation extraction and entity discovery, which extract knowledge triplets from documents using large language model. And besides this, there are temporal knowledge graphs and knowledge-aware applications. Temporal knowledge graph is a method to solve problems by adding a time element to existing triplet to handle graphs that change over time. Now let's talk about more details of knowledge representation learning. Knowledge representation learning is similar with knowledge graph embedding, and there are four scopes. The first scope is representation space. The reason for representing in various representation space is that the diversity of relationships that can be expressed varies depending on the space and operation. Most models are expressed in pointwise space, such as vectors, matrices, and tensors. Among them, famous models include Trans-E and Trans-R. Trans-E is embed entities and relations in a d-dimensional vector space, and Trans-R is embed entities and relations in different vector space. The second space is the complex vector space. This space differs from the existing pointwise space in that it can express more detailed properties, and representative models include complex and rotate E. Complex is first complex model. It can capture both symmetric and antisymmetric relation. And rotate E can express rotational properties. In addition to this, it is also expressed in Gaussian distribution and manifold and group space. The Gaussian distribution defines the embeddings of the head, relation, and tail in a triplet as random variables following a Gaussian distribution. This means that the meaning can change depending on the situation. Manifold and group enable various expressions that cannot be expressed in existing space by expressing them in spaces such as spheres and torus. The table above summarizes the expressive power of the spaces described above in relationship, patterns, and representative models. Once we've decided on the space in which to embed the head, relation, and tail of a triplet, we need to determine the rules for embedding. To do this, we define a scoring function. There are two main ways to define this function. The first is distance-based, which defines the Euclidean distance between entities and relations as the scoring function. Looking at Transi's score function, it is the absolute value obtained by subtracting the tail from the sum of the head and relation. What this means is that the embedding is done so that the sum of the head vector and the relation vector is equal to the sum of the tail vector. In tensor, since the space that maps entities and relations is different, the head and tail are projected onto the relation space, and then embedding is performed so that the sum of the head and relation is equal to the value of the tail. The second method is semantic matching. This is a scoring function that combines pairs of head and relation and tail by assigning meaning to pairs of entity relationships. A representative example is a scoring function of this mode. Now that we've determined the space to represent the embedding and the scoring function, which is the representation rule, we need to decide how to train the model to fit those rules. There are two main approaches to this: linear bilinear model and neural networks. Linear bilinear models represent models using linear combinations or matrix multiplication, and neural networks are broadly categorized into five types: multi-layer neural networks and convolution and recurrent neural networks, transformers, and graph neural networks. Of these, GNNs are the most widely used today. Now will briefly explain how representative models are modeled. The first method I'll explain is Transy. This is one of the earliest knowledge graph embedding models, and the idea behind this model is to represent relation as translation vectors. There are three major relationships that Transy can explain: antisymmetry, inversion, and composition. However, symmetry cannot be expressed because it only holds true when the head and tail vectors are identical. Transi's scoring function is as follows. During training, entities are randomly replaced in the true positive triplet to create a negative sample. This is then used for training using the loss function below. The gamma value here is a hyperparameter. The task of this model is to predict tail, head, and the method is as follows. The disadvantages of Tracy are poor performance on one-to-n, n-to-one, and n-to-n relations, and unable to model symmetry. The second method is RGCN. And RGCN is a model built on graph convolution network. GCN is a graph convolution network that defines a function that moves from the current layer to the next layer based on how the graph is connected. A representative formula is shown below. However, this method is only applicable when the edge relation is single. So RGCN is a modified version that can be used in knowledge graphs. To differentiate between each relation, the weight matrix, which was previously unique to each layer in the existing GCN, was increased to have one for each relation. The equation is as above, and since the expressive power of relatively few relations can be neglected when a node is connected to many relations, normalization was performed using CIR. Modeling as described above has the disadvantage of creating too many parameters because weights are assigned to each relationship and layer. To address this, the two methods described above were applied. One method is to convert the weight matrix into a block diagonal matrix. And another way is to represent the weight matrix as a linear combination of learnable basis matrices. The scoring function is as shown above. The RR matrix is the matrix learned in the decoder stage, and the text of this model are also identical to those of the Trans-E model mentioned above. Recently, many GNN models have emerged, and most of them are based on RGCN. The models I discussed today serve as the foundation for other models or serve as a comparison group, so I explained them. Today I discuss knowledge graphs, knowledge graph representation learning, and representative models. Thank you for listening.